I spent more than $7,000 hiring editors, and these are the 9 lessons you need to know. More than 80% of the $7,000 I spent on Fiverr was hiring YouTube editors, but it's the same exact process if you're hiring for Instagram, TikTok, honestly, any type of content, including ads. Because the video editor you hire can make or break the content that you're producing. The decision you're about to make when hiring a video editor could be the missing puzzle piece that gets your video to go viral, to reach millions of people so that they know about your brand or business, or it could just be another video that gets 20 views, which is exactly what you're going to avoid, especially after hearing lesson 4. So what does it take to hire a good editor? How much should you be paying? And will a $300 video editor always be better than a $20 one? All these secrets are inside the 9 lessons that have taken me years to learn. And not only that, it's also taken me countless videos that have completely flopped, many stressful moments dealing with the wrong editors, and even months where I've given up and stopped posting just because I couldn't find the right editor within my budget. Lesson 1 is one of the most important yet most overlooked, which ends up causing so much stress on both the creator side and the editor side just because this wasn't put into perspective. And that is knowing that the delivery date isn't the date that your video is going to be ready by. When hiring on Fiverr, you'll see that the editors have gigs which usually state the standard delivery time. But this date means the date that they're going to deliver the first round. And trust me, after more than 247 videos that I've done, the first round is never going to be the final one. No matter how good the editor is, there's always little tiny tweaks like changing the music choice or wanting to add in a little sound effect. Learn from my mistakes and add on at least 5 days to what that delivery date says. So if the editor that you're hiring has a 5-day delivery date, what I would do is I would allow 10 days until I can expect the final project to be ready by. Which brings us to lesson number 2, and it's a step that most people want to skip over when hiring. And I can assure you that if you do this correctly, the chances of you getting a video that you like as your final end product increases by over 80%. So here's what you have to do. Set clear expectations. The video editor you're hiring cannot read minds. They also have no idea that you just watched a video, that you liked this intro and you liked this idea that you want to replicate for your video. They also have no idea that your branding is green and white instead of black and pink, which is why you need to follow the 3-step formula every time you reach out to an editor. Number 1, explain what you want the video to look like. Explain what you need to be done, if you need it to be cut, color corrected, adding music, adding animations, adding text. What are you expecting? Number 2, adding links to examples. I recommend 2 to 4. And then mentioning exactly what you like from those videos. Number 3, providing a brief, like 1-sentence, 2-sentence summary of who you are, what your brand is, and if relevant, adding links to a website or your channel for reference. And so you can see how this is actually done. Check out this example from the message that I sent Luke when I was looking for a video editor. Hello, I'm looking for a video editor for my YouTube channel. We would start with one video, but I'm looking for something long-term. The most important things for me are that you understand YouTube can deliver on time and can be creative with the editing without needing my input for every element added. Overall, this involves cutting and cleaning the footage, color correction, enhancing audio, adding text, adding B-roll, showing what I'm explaining, and most importantly, making the video binge-worthy. This is the style that I am looking for. On average, the raw footage is 15 to 25 minutes and the final is from 10 to 15 minutes. Please let me know what the cost would be. Since there are thousands of video editors on Fiverr, and you obviously want to make sure that you're hiring the best one for your budget, which we're going to get into how to determine your budget in lesson number 5. One lesson that I learned after hiring so many editors that left me stressed, overwhelmed because I was already past the due date when I needed my video by, and then resulted in me just having to sit down and edit the video myself, is to request a sample video. And here's where it gets really good. Normally, to hire an editor, you go on Fiverr, you type in video editors, you start reaching out with the 3-step formula, you find ones that you really click with, you negotiate a price, and then even after all of that, you might still be left with more than one that has all the checks that you're looking for. So what do you do then? Normally, I would say to just go with your gut and pick your favorite, but I have absolutely learned from my mistakes, which is why lesson number 3 is to request a sample video. And it's totally normal to request an editor a sample video. You can even send in a 1-minute clip of the big video that you want to be edited. And if your video is shorter, maybe a TikTok or an Instagram reel, what I would recommend doing is negotiating a price for one clip. And then if you like the final work, then you send over the rest of the videos that you're looking to be edited. This way, you're not wasting your time, you're not wasting the editor's time, and if it's a match, you're good to go. And if it wasn't a match, at least you save time and you can move on to the next editors you've chatted with. Now, a great hack for saving time during this process is where lesson 4 comes in. I can't tell you the amount of times I've been unhappy with a video and just approved it because I was so tired of the back and forth with revisions and I just needed the video posted already. However, when I found out about this hack, everything changed. When you hire on Fiverr, the service provider can upload the video onto the Fiverr portal, which allows you to have the option of leaving timestamps as you review the video. This is huge. In the past, one of the only platforms that had timestamps was Frame.io, which you had to pay an additional cost for. Then if you found an editor, you had to add on his seat, which meant another cost. And now it can all be done directly through Fiverr like this. The editor uploads a video, you open it directly on Fiverr, and you can do this from a computer or even from a mobile device if you're like me and you're always on the go. And then as you review the video, you leave comments exactly where you want the change to be made. That means no more replaying the video 100 times to find out exactly the minute and the second at which you wanted to add that sound effect, where you wanted to change the B-roll. You can skip all of that. But that's not it for lesson 4. You have to leave detailed comments in order to save time and get the final video to be exactly how you envisioned it to be. If you want to change the music, you can't just say change music. You have to say change music to exactly what style you had in mind. So at this point, you know exactly how to reach out to editors, how much time in advance you should be doing it, and how to go back and forth during revisions. Which leaves us to the good part, how to determine your budget. This video that you're watching right now costs $300 to edit, and for this project, I hired Mark S. on Fiverr, which you can find his profile right here. However, I myself have proven that when it comes to hiring, price doesn't always equal quality. I have hired way above my budget and received terrible results. Also in part because I didn't request a sample video, since I just expected it to be good based on the price point. Just like I've had amazingly edited videos for $23. This video, I can't be the only one that has a big mess on the Notes app on my phone. If I'm talking to someone and they give me a recommendation, plop, the first thing I'll do is write it down. This video, Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Almanac of Naval Ravikant, Profit First, and Never Split the Difference. And I read them so you don't have to. And this video, Michigan or in Wyoming, I can assure you that having Spanish under my belt will be an advantage that not that many people have. In Florida, everyone has that. Have all been edited by Luke on his basic gig plan, which you can find on Fiverr for $65. As you can see, 2 very different price points, yet very high quality results. Now, since my videos are usually for YouTube, the way I personally go about determining my budget is basing it off of my monthly YouTube ad revenue. However, as a smaller creator, this also means there have been many months where I just break even. And that's okay because I understand that content is a long run game, not a sprint. And that's something that I wish so many newer creators were more realistic with. At the beginning, just like any other business, what you're starting with your content requires an investment, whether it's of time and money. And maybe if you're a newer creator and you're not monetizing just yet, that might mean sitting down to invest your time until you have that money to be able to outsource and hire it out. So now that you know your budget and you're ready to hire, here's the order I recommend sorting through Fiverr so you can get to your best editor even quicker. After typing in video editors, I always select the category to narrow it down, since there are thousands of talented editors on Fiverr. Next, I add my budget and then I start seeing the editors that come up. However, since there's still like over 23,000 results, I start adding in seller details and then lastly, delivery date. I do the delivery date last because usually that's something that I can negotiate when I'm chatting with the video editor. Now, since I hire video editors for my Spanish channel as well, under seller details, I checkmark that I want the editor to speak Spanish. And once you've added all the filters is where the fun and the 3-step method of reaching out comes out to play. Trust me, this process is a lot easier than it seems. It really shouldn't take more than max 2 hours to find your ideal editor. And it gets even easier with time if you implement lesson 7 and start making lists like I did. Whenever I would run into an editor with all my checks, I would add it to a list on Fiverr. These lists can be private or public, and you can group them by budget or by project. It's completely up to you. For example, I have 2 lists that I'm going to share with you. One is for YouTube video editors that either I've already worked with or have had all the check marks that I'm looking for. And the other is for video editors that can edit short clips with captions like this video. I'll leave both links in the description, or you can just scan the QR codes that will open up directly to the list. What I do recommend, especially if you're like me and you're always working with video editors, is not having to wait until you have to hire to start searching. There's been times, and I know I can't be the only one, where I get a really good video idea and I want it out like that same week, which is why I've learned my lesson, and now I always have 3 to 4 editors like ready to go. That's right, always have more than one video editor, because we're all human and things happen, like personal life stuff comes up, and it gives you extreme peace of mind knowing that you have video editors ready whenever a spontaneous project comes up. You know how to hire, you know how to sort, you know how to determine your budget, and now you know how to save time by creating lists, which leaves us to the last lesson: how to ensure high video quality throughout this entire process. And no one talks about this, but high video quality is also a puzzle piece for your video's performance, which is why this lesson that took me years to learn is something that you need to start putting into place starting today. Whenever you're transferring footage, sending videos over, you always want to make sure that you're using a cloud sharing app like Dropbox, Drive, or my favorite, pCloud, to maintain the high video quality. pCloud is my absolute favorite because I have like 2 terabytes of storage, and I don't have to worry about paying it monthly since it's a one-time lifetime fee. So now you know, whenever you're sending your raw video footage over to your editor before it's edited, and when you're receiving the final version, always send it over via a link that won't compromise the video's quality. Come back to this video anytime you're thinking about hiring, and keep in mind that while this might seem like a lengthy process, it's totally worth it to find your star editor, that partner in crime that allows you to put out the dream content that you want to. Hire a good editor and you'll see how your video drastically changes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and when you scroll down to the link in the description, you'll find those 2 lists of editors that I've handpicked on Fiverr so that you can hire for your next video even quicker. Bye-bye!